Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first attempt on the topic carotid triangle. So if you like my video, please like it and subscribe my channel and click on the bell icon for future notification. So let's move on to the topic carotid triangle. So before moving on to the carotid triangle, this diagram, you should remember this diagram because this diagram is very important because this got many triangles. The boundaries of many triangle has been included in this diagram, so you should remember this diagram very much. So for the time being, I am just using this diagram to show you the boundaries of the carotid triangle only. So let's move on to the topic. So this is the anterior belly of the digastric, because in the carotid triangle this got no such relevance, so I didn't denote this muscle. And this is the posterior belly of the digastric, and this is the green structure. This is the stylohyoid ligament. There's a bony structure named styloid process. The ligament that connects the styloid process and the hyoid bone is the stylohyoid ligament, and this is the superior belly of the omohyoid, and this will be the inferior belly of the omohyoid. And so this will be, as always, the sternocleidomastoid, because this sternocleidomastoid got very importance in the neck region. So you should remember the sternocleidomastoid, and I will be doing the special class on this topic, sternocleidomastoid. So for the time being, we will only look into the carotid triangle. So the anterior superiorly, the boundaries of the carotid triangle include the anterior superiorly, it is by the posterior belly of the digastric muscle and the stylohyoid. So the boundaries will be the anterior superiorly, the posterior belly of the digastric and the stylohyoid ligament, and anterior inferiorly it will be by the superior belly of the omohyoid, muscle, and posteriorly it will be by the anterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So all these are the borders, and including that we need the floor and the roof of the triangle. For every triangle we should know its boundaries, that is all the structure related to it, and also the roof and also the floor and the contents present in that. We should know about it. So, and including the roof of this triangle will be the skin, as all of you know that it will be covered by the skin, and below that there should be a superficial fascia, and this superficial fascia will contains platysma muscle. As all of you know, there will be a muscle present here, and this muscle is known as platysma muscles. And there will be a cervical branch of the facial nerve. When we take there's a facial nerve will comes, and behind the parotid gland it will gives a cervical branch to the neck. So the superficial fascia contains the cervical branch of the facial nerve here, and also the transverse cutaneous nerve of the neck. So and the investing layer of the deep cervical fascia is also a part of the roof of the carotid triangle. So which all are the roof of the carotid triangle? This includes skin, superficial fascia containing platysma, cervical branch of facial nerve, transverse cutaneous nerve of neck, and the investing layer of the deep cervical fascia. Now let's move on to the floor. So to know the floor, we should know this diagram. This diagram has got the floor of showing the structures that present in the floor of this triangle. So this structure, what is this structure? This structure is the thyroid bone and thyroid cartilage, and this will be the hyoid bone, and all these are the present thyroid cartilage and hyoid bone, and a membrane will be connecting these two structures, that will be the thyrohyoid membrane. The structure that connects the hyoid bone and the thyroid cartilage will be the thyrohyoid membrane. And we have already know about the superior constrictor, middle constrictor and inferior constrictor of the pharynx. I will take a class on the topic the pharynx, its muscle origin insertion on the future. So for the time being, you need to know there will be a middle constrictor of the pharynx and inferior constrictor of the pharynx will be present here. So this will be the inferior constrictor of the pharynx and this will be the middle constrictor of the pharynx. And this process is the styloid process, and there's a ligament connecting the styloid process and the hyoid. They have already discussed the stylohyoid ligament. Here's the stylohyoid ligament is connecting, and there's a hyoid bone connecting to the tongue, that is the hyoglossus membrane. Hyoglossus muscle is present here. So the hyoglossus muscle, middle constrictor, inferior constrictor. Now let's move on to the which all are the floor of this triangle. This will be, it include the middle constrictor of the pharynx, inferior constrictor of the pharynx and thyrohyoid membrane. So thyrohyoid membrane, middle constrictor of the pharynx, inferior constrictor of the pharynx are the floor of the carotid triangle. So all these are for the floor of the carotid triangle. Now let's move on to the we have completed the boundaries of the carotid triangle. Now let's move on to the contents of the carotid triangle. Here this picture, this diagram only showing the arteries that present in the carotid triangle. Now let's look into the arteries that present in the carotid triangle. The arteries include the common carotid artery, and there will be carotid body and carotid sinus present in the common carotid artery in its termination. So we will discuss about the what's the importance of the carotid body and carotid sinus. In the future section, I will take a class on the topic common carotid artery, external carotid artery, internal carotid artery. In that class, I will talk about the what's the importance of the carotid body, carotid sinus. For the time being, you just need to know that there's a carotid body and a carotid sinus present in the common carotid artery in its termination. Now it's terminate, the common carotid artery get terminated into external carotid artery and internal carotid artery. And there are many branches that given out by the external carotid artery. So there's some branches, only some branches are present in the carotid triangle. As we are discussing on the topic carotid triangle, we are only looking into the branches that given by the external carotid artery in the carotid triangle. So let's move on to the which are the branches that given out by the external carotid artery. That will be, the first one include the superior thyroid, ascending pharyngeal, lingual and occipital branch. All the branches that given out by the external carotid artery, and there's a presence of the internal carotid artery in the carotid triangle. Now for the venous component of the carotid triangle, and this include only the internal jugular vein, and some of the vein drains into the internal jugular vein, and this can be found out by the code PCL, and this PCL will give the idea which all are the vein that drains into the internal jugular vein, and the P stands for pharyngeal vein, and C stands for common facial vein, and L stands for lingual vein. So which all are the PCL, that is pharyngeal vein, common facial vein and lingual vein. So pharyngeal, common facial and lingual vein, all these are the vein that drains into the internal jugular vein. So these are for the venous component of the carotid triangle. Present. Now for the nerve that present in the carotid triangle, and these include the structure that I drawn in the yellow color, are the nerves that present in the carotid triangle. So this is the vagus nerve, which is running vertically downward. It is passing vertically downward. This is the vagus nerve. And a nerve, it got a branch from the vagus nerve. It is the superior laryngeal nerve. And this superior laryngeal nerve itself divides into the external and internal laryngeal nerve. So this vagus nerve is vertically running downward, and it gives a branches named superior laryngeal nerve, and itself divided into external and internal laryngeal nerve. Now for the nerve that is spinal accessory nerve. The spinal accessory nerve runs backward over the internal jugular vein. The spinal accessory nerve is running backward over the internal jugular vein. And now for the hypoglossal nerve. It's moving forward over the internal and external carotid artery. So the nerve, hypoglossal nerve, is moving above the external and internal carotid artery, and this hypoglossal nerve gives us branches that is the superior root or upper root of the ansa cervicalis. So what do you mean by ansa cervicalis? We will give another section on the topic ansa cervicalis. So for the time being, you just need to know that it gives the hypoglossal nerve gives a branches, the superior root gives a branch named superior root of the ansa cervicalis in the carotid triangle. So all these are for the contents of the carotid triangle. Now let's know about the lymph node that present in the carotid triangle. The lymph node that present in the carotid triangle includes the deep cervical lymph node are situated along the internal jugular vein and include the jugulodigastric node. It is present below the posterior belly of the digastric, this muscle, the posterior belly of the digastric muscle. And now the next node is the jugulo-omohyoid node. It is above the inferior belly of the omohyoid. And this is the inferior belly of the omohyoid. It is present above the inferior belly of the omohyoid. So which all are the lymph node? That is the deep cervical lymph node are situated along the internal jugular vein. Now the another will include the jugulodigastric node below the posterior belly of the digastric, and jugulo-omohyoid node above the inferior belly of the omohyoid. These are all the structure that present in the carotid triangle. So these are all about the carotid triangle. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, and please support me by clicking on the subscribe button and click on the bell icon for the future notification. So thank you guys. We will meet soon.